Welcome back, everyone. World Baseball News for the week of September 26th. A huge week in the baseball world last week. Another big one up ahead. Two countries emerged from the Regensburg Qualifier to punch their ticket to the World Baseball Classic. 2 spots are left, and that qualifier begins this week in Panama. A new champion was crowned after Game 7 of the Serie del Rey in Mexico. 1 week remains in the regular seasons in Japan and Korea. Several postseason spots still up for grabs, but one team has clinched the pennant. I'll get to all of that, but let's start with the WBC qualifiers first. Heading into last week, France had already been eliminated. Germany and South Africa had their elimination game postponed by a day, and they were meeting on Monday. That game was close early on, tied 2-2 after 5 innings. But in the 6th, Germany got home runs from William Germain, Demetrius Moore, and Aaron Altair for a 7-run inning. Demetrius Moore homered again 1 inning later, and Germany went on to win 11-5. That set up an elimination match between the 2 highest-ranked teams, Germany and the Czech Republic, on Tuesday. Germany got things started in the top of the first with a 3-run homer from William Germain. The Czechs answered in the bottom of the first with home runs from Peter Zima and Martin Cervenka to tie it up at 3. And from there, the Czechs took over, scoring 3 runs in the 3rd and 3 more in the 7th, which included another home run from Cervenka. Czech Republic won 8-4, and the home team was eliminated. Tuesday night, Great Britain versus Spain. The game featured 2 top MLB prospects, Noelvi Marte of Spain and Harry Ford of Great Britain. Both looked fantastic during the qualifier. Both teams were 2-0, winner qualifies for the WBC. It looked like Spain was going to be that team. They led the entire game and held a 9-8 lead in the bottom of the 9th. But then Jaden Rudd hit a solo home run for Britain to tie it up and send it to extra innings. In the 10th, Alex Crosby hit the walk-off sac fly to give Britain a 10-9 win and qualify them for the World Baseball Classic. One last game on Wednesday, Spain versus Czech Republic, a rematch of the previous Saturday when Spain clobbered the Czech team 21-7 in a mercy rule-shortened 7-inning game. It would be very different this time around. Martin Schneider, a firefighter during the week and a baseball player on the weekend, held Spain to 1 run in 6 1/3 innings. He was relieved by Marek Minarek, a 2-way star in Extraliga who shut them out the rest of the way. Home runs from Martin Music and Marek Klup provided the offense, and the Czech Republic won this one 3-1 to qualify for the WBC. For Britain and the Czech Republic, it'll be their first trip to the WBC, and it was big news in both countries. The qualification garnered much more attention than anything in baseball normally would. BBC even started showing MLB games over there. Very disappointing for Germany, though, the favorite to win the qualifier, and too bad for Spain. They were so close. The best thing about the Czech team is that all of them were homegrown players, and not one of them presently belonged to a major league organization. Says a lot about Czech Baseball Extraliga, which is almost entirely amateur. Look at this tweet from Michael Clare. Their starting pitcher is a firefighter who was only supposed to pitch in relief. The manager is Brno's leading neurologist. Some players left straight from the game because they had work in the morning. And this team beat a Spanish team that boasted a top MLB prospect and 4 ex-Major League players. Total attendance for the qualifier was 11,069 over 9 games, for an average of 1,230 fans per game. That's lower than the attendance for any of the 4 qualifiers for the 2017 WBC. But a lot of that had to do with the weather. It was cold and rainy. Plus, a game involving Germany that was supposed to be played on a Sunday was rained out and moved to Monday, when most people are working. And there's still one more qualifier to go. This Friday, September 30th, the Pool B qualifier gets underway at Rod Carew Stadium in Panama. The host country will battle with Nicaragua, Brazil, Argentina, Pakistan, and New Zealand. This Friday at noon Eastern, the action in Panama kicks off with New Zealand and Brazil. At 7 p.m., Pakistan will take on Argentina. Both teams will be seeking their first ever qualifier win. The winner of the early game will meet Nicaragua at noon on Saturday. The winner of the evening game will face Panama on Saturday evening. The losers of Friday's and Saturday's games will meet on Sunday, with the 2 losers being eliminated. So by the end of the weekend, we'll be down to 4 teams. Schedules for the main tournament, Pools C and D, were released last week. The very first game in Pool C will be between Colombia and Mexico on Saturday, March 11th, followed by USA versus one of the qualifier teams in the evening. The 5-team round-robin will go on for 5 days, concluding on Wednesday, March 15th. Pool D will start on the same day with Puerto Rico taking on a qualifier team. Later, we'll see the Dominican Republic take the field against Venezuela. The final games for Pool D will be on Wednesday the 15th, just as with Pool C. The good news continued to come in for Great Britain last week. Jazz Chisholm, the 24-year-old second baseman for the Miami Marlins, couldn't play in the qualifier, but he'll be there for the big tournament. In 60 games this year, his line is .254, .325, .535, with 14 home runs and 12 steals. Good enough for his first career All-Star appearance. Another week, another addition to Team Mexico. This time it's 26-year-old Boston Red Sox outfielder Alex Verdugo. In his 6th Major League season, he's slashing .281, .329, .404, with 10 home runs in 142 games. This will be his second time participating in the WBC. He also played for Mexico in 2017. Verdugo joins Randy Arozarena in the outfield, Isaac Paredes at third, Rowdy Tellez at first. Starting pitchers Julio Arias, Jose Urquidy, and Javier Assad, and Manuel Rodriguez in the bullpen. Team Colombia got a commit from starting pitcher Julio Teheran. The 31-year-old right-hander was a two-time All-Star, playing in MLB from 2011 to 2021. He spent the 2022 season in Mexico, where he had a .441 ERA and 7 starts. That gives Colombia 3 starting pitchers now. Teheran joins Jose Quintana and Reyver San Martin, with Nabil Crismat in the bullpen. On the field, they've got Donovan Solano, Gio Urshela, Harold Ramirez, and Jorge Alfaro behind the plate. 35-year-old lefty Richard Blair committed for Team Israel. He's appeared in 50 games for the Marlins this year with an ERA of .350. He's appeared in over 300 games in his 7-year Major League career. And another Marlins left-handed relief pitcher, 27-year-old Jake Fishman. He made his MLB debut this year. He's only appeared in 3 games so far. Israel looks like this now, a complete outfield with Jock Peterson, Harrison Bader, and Kevin Pillar. Ryan Lavarnway at catcher, Dean Kramer at starting pitcher, Blair, Fishman, and Jake Bird in the bullpen. Team Taiwan got a commitment from Tzu Wei Lin. The 28-year-old who can play infield and outfield played sparingly in MLB from 2017 to 2021, mostly with the Red Sox. He spent 2022 in the minors of the Mets organization. 26-year-old starting pitcher Pablo Lopez will play for Venezuela. In 30 starts this year, he's got an ERA of .388. It's his 5th Major League season, all with the Marlins. In Mexico, the 2022 LMB season has come to an end. At this time last week, Sultanes de Monterrey and Leones de Yucatán were tied at 3 games apiece in the Serie del Rey. Game 7 was last Monday in Monterrey. Yucatán struck first. An RBI double from Jose Martinez in the first inning put Leones up 1-0. In the 5th, it was Martinez again, this time with an RBI single to make it 2-0 Yucatán. In the 7th, Jose Martinez again with a 3-run homer to make it 5-0, all runs driven in by Martinez. No further scoring till the 9th when Walter Ibarra homered for Yucatán and Zoilo Almonte homered for Monterrey. And that would be it. Leones de Yucatán took Game 7 of the Serie del Rey 6-1. They are the 2022 LMB champions. This was the first title for Yucatán since 2018. However, that year the LMB played 2 seasons with 2 different champions. Yucatán won the first title, Monterrey won the second. That unpopular format was scrapped after 1 season. If you don't count that one, their last title was in 2006. This was only their 5th Serie del Rey title since the team's founding in 1954. In Japan, the 2022 NPB regular season will come to an end 1 week from today. 1 pennant has been clinched, the other one is far from being decided. 10 teams are still alive for the 6 spots in the postseason. Going into last week, the Swallows and Baystars were looking pretty good at 1 and 2 respectively in Central League. The Giants, Tigers, and Carp were all tied for the 3rd and final postseason spot. In Pacific League, the Hawks and Buffaloes were tied for the top spot. Eagles were the new 3rd-place team. The Lions, after a winless week, had fallen from 1st to 4th, but they still had a shot at reaching the postseason, as did the 5th-place Marines. Kosuke Fukudome played in his final game on Friday. His final at-bat was a flyout in the 9th. The 45-year-old outfielder retires after 25 seasons, starting his career in 1999. In his 20 years of playing in NPB, he totaled 1,952 hits, 285 home runs, over 1,000 walks, and over 1,000 RBI. MLB and NPB combined 2,450 hits, 327 home runs. The last Daiei Hawks player will retire at the end of this season. Infielder Kenji Akashi began his career in 2004, the last year Daiei owned the team before they became the SoftBank Hawks. He's remained with the organization ever since, spent a lot of time in the minors but played in over 1,000 games with the Big League Hawks. Munetaka Murakami's run for the home run record came to a complete halt. He had 55 home runs at the start of the week and at the end. 6 games, no home runs. He'll need to hit 5 homers in the last 6 games to tie the record. Last week's results, good games on Tuesday, all decided by 3 runs or less. Giants over Swallows 5-4 as the Giants took over 3rd place. Baystars beat the Tigers 5-4. Dragons got by the Carp 5-3 in 11 innings. Hawks 3-1 over the Fighters. Lions over Eagles 4-1. And the Buffaloes beat the Marines 6-3. 4 hits for Baystars first baseman Keita Sano, including his 20th home run of the year. Lions pitcher Kona Takahashi threw 8 innings, struck out 9, and surrendered only 1, as he improved to 11-8. Wednesday, Central League only, Giants won their 3rd in a row, 2-1 over the Baystars. Swallows took care of the Dragons 6-2, and an important game in the postseason race. Carp scored 6 runs in the top of the 11th to get past the Tigers 10-4. Thursday, a pair of 3-0 shutouts in Central League, Baystars over Giants and Dragons over Swallows. In Pacific League, Marines hammered the Buffaloes 13-5. 22-year-old Marines outfielder Koki Yamaguchi drove in 8 of those runs on a double and 3 home runs. and Dragons pitcher Hiroto Takahashi tossed 7 scoreless with 5 Ks for the win. Friday, Baystars became the second team in Central League to clinch a spot in the postseason with an 8-6 win over the Swallows. Giants moved closer to clinching with a 9-3 win over the Dragons. Tigers moved into a tie for fourth with a 7-3 win over the Carp. Fighters took care of the Eagles 6-3 in 10 innings, and by that same score, also in 10 innings, Marines beat the Hawks. Baystars third baseman Toshiro Miyazaki reached base 4 times, homered twice, and drove in 5. 21-year-old Giants pitcher Haruto Inoue allowed 3 runs over 6 innings for his first career win. Saturday, in a rain-delayed game, Swallows pounded the Baystars 8-1 to lower their magic number to 2. Dragons beat the Giants 2-1, reducing the Giants' lead in the postseason race to 1. Lions beat the Fighters 6-2. Buffaloes clobbered the Eagles 9-1. That put the Lions back in third ahead of the Eagles, and the Hawks shut out the Marines 6-0. Dragons pitcher Shinosuke Ogasawara struck out 10 batters in 7 innings while surrendering only 1. Yoshinobu Yamamoto threw 7 scoreless with 7 Ks to improve to 15-5. Run support provided by Masataka Yoshida, 3 hits, a home run, and 6 RBI. And Hawks pitcher Yugo Bando went all 9 innings for a complete game shutout. Sunday, Baystars Swallows no score till the bottom of the 9th when Kazuya Maruyama hit a walk-off double to give the Swallows a 1-0 win and clinch the Central League pennant for the 2nd year in a row. This is the first time the Swallows have won back-to-back pennants since 1992 and 93. They'll be trying to become the first Central League team to win back-to-back Japan Series titles since the Carp did it in 1979 and 1980. Other scores: Dragons beat the Giants again 7-1, Eagles shut out the Fighters 6-0, and the Hawks blew out the Marines 10-0. Central League standings: Swallows have a 7-game lead with 6 games left. They cannot be caught. The Baystars are guaranteed second place. They will have home field advantage for the first stage of the Climax Series. Giants hold the last spot in the postseason, for now. The Tigers and Carp are only a half game behind. This is going to be an interesting finish. In Pacific League, the Hawks' win on Sunday gave them a half-game lead over the Buffaloes with 6 games left to play, magic number 5. Both the Hawks and Buffaloes have clinched a spot in the postseason. Eagles and Lions are tied for that last spot. Those two will meet on Wednesday. This week in NPB, 2 games today, Eagles at Fighters and Marines at Hawks, so the Pacific League standings have probably changed by the time you see this. Tuesday, Tigers at Swallows, Dragons at Baystars, Marines at Fighters, Hawks at Lions, and Eagles at Buffaloes. Wednesday, same matchups in Central League. In Pacific League, Marines at Fighters again, and postseason on the line, Lions at Eagles. Thursday, Dragons at Baystars once again, Swallows at Carp, and Hawks at Eagles. Friday, same 2 matchups in Central League. In Pacific League, Hawks at Eagles again, and Marines at Buffaloes. Saturday, Giants at Baystars, first game of the week for the Giants, and Hawks at Lions. And Sunday, the only day when every team takes the field, Giants at Baystars, Swallows at Tigers, Dragons at Carp, Buffaloes at Eagles, Hawks at Marines, and Fighters at Lions. Monday, last game of the regular season, Baystars at Swallows. In Korea, the regular season will come to an end 1 week from this Saturday, and so much has yet to be decided. Heading into last week, the first-place Landers held a 3.5-game lead over the second-place Twins. The third-place Heroes led by 2 games over the fourth-place Wiz, and the Tigers were on a 7-game losing streak, clinging to that 5th and final playoff spot, just a game and a half ahead of the NC Dinos, 2 ahead of the Lotte Giants. And here is what happened. Tuesday, Landers got past the Wiz 4-2. Twins breezed past the Tigers 11-1. Giants were 8-6 winners over the Eagles. Bears took care of the Dinos 8-2, and the Lions rolled 10-2 over the Heroes. Landers pitcher Sean Moramondo improved to 7-1, going 7 innings, striking out 9 and allowing only 1. Bears catcher Sung Hyun Jang batted in 4 runs on 3 hits, and Lions pitcher Tae-in-won allowed just 1 through 7 innings while striking out 7 for win number 10. Wednesday, Wiz came from behind to beat the Landers 4-3. Twins won big 11-2, handing the Tigers their 9th straight loss. Giants crushed the Eagles 9-0. Dinos beat the Bears 5-1 to move within a half game of the 5th-place Tigers, and the Heroes held on to beat the Lions 5-4. Twins shortstop Ji-Won-Oh hit an RBI triple and a 3-run homer, his 25th home run of the year. Thursday, Landers whipped the Eagles 10-1. Tigers snapped their 9-game losing streak when it really counted, a 3-1 win over the Dinos to hang on to 5th place. Wiz over the Lions 9-7 in 11 innings. Giants beat the Twins 7-1, and the Bears got past the Heroes 5-2. Giants pitcher Charlie Barnes threw 6 shutout innings with 7 Ks for win number 12, to go with his 12 losses. Friday, Landers held on to top the Eagles 5-4. Dinos beat the Tigers 5-2 to move back within a half game in the playoff race. Lions over Wiz 5-3. Twins blanked the Giants 1-0, and the Heroes beat the Bears 5-1. Min-Ho Lee tossed 6 scoreless for the Twins. He improved his record to 12-7 despite an ERA of 5.17. Saturday, last place Eagles blanked the Twins 2-0. Tigers again defended their playoff spot when it was on the line, 3-0 over the Dinos. Heroes took care of the Giants 9-5, and the Landers rolled over the Bears 14-5. Tigers pitcher Wee Lee Yi threw 6 shutout innings with only 2 hits to earn the win, and Heroes outfielder Jung-Hoo Lee had 3 hits, a home run, and 4 batted in. Sunday, Bears over Eagles 5-3. Tigers beat the Lions 4-3. Wiz blasted the Dinos 9-1, and in 10 innings, the second-place Twins got past the first-place Landers 6-2. Tigers pitcher Sean Nolan tossed 7 scoreless with 7 Ks for the win. 6 scoreless from Wiz pitcher Sung-Bak as he improved to 9-2. And the Twins got a 10th-inning grand slam from third baseman Min-Sung Kim, only his second home run of the year. KBO Standings, we are almost at the end. Landers hold a 3.5-game lead over the second-place Twins. Landers have 7 games remaining, Twins have 11, so it's not over yet. Heroes are nowhere near the top 2 but hold a 2-game lead over the Wiz for the number 3 spot. Those 4 teams have clinched a spot in the postseason. Only 1 spot remains, and for now the Tigers are holding on to it. The Dinos twice pulled to within a half game of the Tigers and both times lost. They trail by 2.5 now. Giants are 3.5 back and the Lions 4. This week in the KBO, 3 games on Tuesday, Twins at Eagles, Bears at Wiz, and Heroes at Dinos. Wednesday, Game 2 of Twins Eagles and Bears Wiz, and Lions at Dinos. Thursday, all teams in action, Wiz at Twins, Giants at Tigers, maybe the last chance in the playoff race for the Giants. Dinos at Lions, Bears at Eagles, and Heroes at Landers. Friday, Giants at Eagles, Dinos at Twins, Bears at Lions, and Heroes at Landers. Saturday, Game 2 of Dinos Twins and Bears Lions, and Landers at Tigers. Sunday, Tigers at Eagles, Game 3 of Dinos Twins, and Bears at Giants. Holiday on Monday, 4 early games scheduled, Tigers at Twins, Dinos at Wiz, Bears at Giants, and Landers at Eagles. In Taiwan, the regular season will run till October 23rd, just under 20 games to go. At the start of last week, the Rakuten Monkeys were enjoying their usual comfortable lead atop the second half and the overall standings. The brothers were starting to establish themselves as the number 2 team in both standings. 3 teams will reach the playoffs, and all 5 teams have a good shot at making it. Let's look at what happened. Tuesday, it was Guardians over Dragons 3-2. Monkeys kept rolling 5-3 over the Lions. Wednesday, Guardians beat the Dragons again 9-2. Xiao Qing-Chang threw 7 innings, struck out 8, and allowed only 2. Brothers hammered the Monkeys 11-0. 7 shutout innings from N.C. Huang for his first win of the season. Thursday, Guardians improved to 3-0 for the week, 4-3 over the Lions. Brothers beat the Monkeys again 6-2. Cheng Hua-Yu had 2 hits, a home run, and 3 batted in. Friday, Brothers 9-7 over the Monkeys for a 3-game sweep and their 6th straight win. Tzu Hao Chen drove in 4 runs on 3 hits. Lions beat the Dragons 3-2. 9 straight losses for the Dragons. Saturday, Brothers were down 1-0 after 8 but scored 4 runs in the 9th for a 4-2 win, their 7th win in a row. Dragons ended their 9-game losing streak with a 5-4 win over the Lions. Sunday, Monkeys over Guardians 8-2. Bin Yang 7 innings, 2 runs for the win, and the Dragons took care of the Lions 4-2. CPBL second half standings, about 20 games to go, and the Monkeys' lead is down to 3 games. The brothers have been on fire lately, looking to make a run for the second half title. Time is running out for the Guardians. They need to make up 7.5 games with 20 to go, or they will not reach the playoffs. Overall standings, Monkeys lead by 7.5, down from 10 a week ago, but unlikely they'll lose the top spot in the remaining 19 games. Brothers are in good shape, leading the third-place Dragons by 8.5. Looks like they're in for sure. Then, assuming the Dragons don't win the second half title, it'll be the Dragons and Lions battling for the last playoff spot. Dragons are ahead right now by 2 games. This week's action begins on Tuesday with Guardians at Monkeys and Lions at Brothers. And that's all for this one. Until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya.